And they're off. And very slow to begin was French Master, and also stoked along leaving the stalls is Sweet William as they set off on a 2-mile journey in the Group 1 Shaqab Goodwood Cup, already through the first turn, and both the runners here for Aidan O'Brien go forward. Illinois and on the outside Scandinavia, although it will be Scandinavia who will now have the inside rail at the end of this straight as they go towards Oak Tree Corner. But it is Illinois who now goes on to Scandinavia, who races in second position. Trueshan is in a share of third with Sunway. Then there's a break of over 2 lengths to Military Academy, and he's now racing just about in advance of Sweet William. And then Dubai Future, and the slow starting French Master is at the back of the field as now they prepare to make the turn at Oak Tree Corner. 1.5 miles to go in the Goodwood Cup, and it is Illinois and Ryan Moore who've got the lead by half a length to Trueshan towards the outside, who races in second. Sunway is in third, and Scandinavia, having broken alertly, has been taken back, and he now races in fourth position and a little off the rail. Then towards the inside is Military Academy, followed by Sweet William, and then Dubai Future, and still French Master is at the back of the field as now they've made the journey to the top of the hill, and very shortly they will now cross over to the other rail and go under the tree line, which carries them downhill towards the intersection of the courses and halfway in the Shaqab Goodwood Cup. And it is Illinois and Ryan Moore who lead, to Trueshan and Holly Doyle in second position. Then Sunway and Asheen Murphy in third. Scandinavia and Wayne Lordan in fourth. 2 lengths away, Military Academy and William Buick in fifth. Sweet William and Robert Havlin in sixth. And then Christophe Soumillon and Dubai Future in seventh. And still, it's French Master and James Doyle at the back of the field. And now they've gone through the intersection, and now they climb. They climb on through the final 7 furlongs of the Goodwood Cup, taken all the way by Illinois. Trueshan the Shadow in second. Sunway is in third, and Scandinavia racing in fourth. In fifth position is Military Academy, and then Sweet William urged to get a little closer, and Trueshan is being pulled up. Trueshan is pulled up as they race towards the top of the hill, and so now it is Illinois who goes into the top turn. Scandinavia now, his stablemate, is the one who comes to put a bit of pressure on the outside of Sunway. Sweet William, Military Academy, French Master and Dubai Future, and now they race down the hill on towards the final half mile of the Shaqab Goodwood Cup. Still it's Illinois who has the lead over stablemate Scandinavia. The 3-year-old is in second. Sunway is in third. Sweet William urged along in fourth. Military Academy is in fifth, and then Dubai Future, and angling to the outside is French Master. They're racing now down towards the final 2.5 furlongs, and Illinois still has the lead, and he has the rail to Scandinavia in second. Sweet William, and then French Master down the wide outside. Sunway still there towards the inner, and now they're racing inside the final furlong and a half. Illinois pressed all the while by stablemate Scandinavia. Sweet William to the outside. Sunway tries to kick back, then French Master on the outside. Scandinavia on the outside of Illinois. It was becoming a private battle. There's a half furlong to go. Scandinavia, the 3-year-old, edges the lead, racing up towards the line. It is Scandinavia who takes the Goodwood Cup over stablemate Illinois in second. Sweet William and Sunway. A long break to French Master. Dubai Future, who never featured, and then a distance back to Military Academy.
Well, we're wondering which of Aidan O'Brien's might win the Goodwood Cup. Would it be Illinois? No, it would be Scandinavia with Wayne Lordan on board, the 3-year-old. An impressive performance in the end. Talk me through the race from your perspective.
Yeah, it was good. Look, obviously, Ryan's horse has gone this trip before, and he's a good horse, and he doesn't mind making runs, so I was happy to follow. It was a little bit rough at one stage, but when everybody settled into it, I got a smooth run around. Went to challenge Ryan. To be honest, I went to Ryan, I felt he was still holding on to a little bit, but when I got stuck into him, he found plenty, and, you know, being by Justify, they stay well and they're tough, and that's exactly what he showed today.
That bit where it was a bit rough, what happened?
I think Holly was a little bit keen and came down our outside, and it just, when we were going turning, there was 3 of us inside, and it was just a little bit tight, but my lad is very straightforward. I was able to just take back a half a stride, and I was happy then.
Okay, so you took back, there wasn't a stumble or anything?
No, there was absolutely nothing, no, so it was always straightforward.
And a 3-year-old, the first 3-year-old to win this since Stradivarius, no doubt. I mean, I don't know how many 3-year-olds, I should know, but I don't, how many I have tried, but that's some performance, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I suppose it falls into the category, you know, when you have the likes of Kyprios demanding for so many years. You know, it's a tough thing to jump into every year. So maybe that's why there's a space between them. But you know, Kyprios wasn't here this year, so you know, my fella's after stepping up, and I think next year he could be the strong horse in the race.
And given how much he's come forward from Royal Ascot to Newmarket July to here, this is a very progressive young horse.
Yeah, again, he's quite a tall horse, and you know, Justified, they're obviously improved with time, and he's quite a big horse. So when you're going them trips, you need the horse to give him every bit of a chance. You know, it's a long way to go, and they're only still 3-year-olds, so he's an improving colt coming to himself at the right time of the year.
And finally for you, after your win in the Derby on Lambourne, now the winning in the Goodwood Cup, you must be delighted.
Yeah, I'm happy. Yeah, so it's good.
Look, the trip.
I've a great job, and I'm enjoying it very much. So it's all good.
Many congratulations, Wayne. Well done.
Thank you.
Thank you. 2 fine bronze medal positions for 2 stalwarts from the Gosling Yard, both ridden by Rab Havlin. First of all, Sweet William, in whose colours he is. What happened there with Sweet William?
Look, for some reason he never travels round Goodwood. You know, French Masters actually. I don't know how he travelled there, but when I rode him around here before, he never travelled. But look, he never travels around here, even when he's won. So he was a bit on and off the bridle, and they just kind of done me for speed up the straight. Like, he would never have been at the first 3, but I tried to ride him to beat Trawlerman the last day, and it ultimately cost him the third. You know, he probably would have been third that day, but he's back to his old ways, where he never finishes at the first 3.
Is he hankering after Doncaster?
Oh, 100%. He likes it there. He travels there. Yeah, he travels there. There's no right or wrong way to ride, and you just got to read the room.
And audience, how about his third in the Lennox?
Well, that was a step back in the right direction. Probably would have liked the ground a bit faster. It was interesting. I was watching the analysis of last year's Lockenge, and he said at halfway he was 12 lengths in front of Baid. So he's a horse that can, you know, produce good fractions and keep them up. So, you know, I'd say that quicker ground he might have finished a bit closer.
And was it a weird race to be in?
Well, not for me, because I was in obviously the right group, but we were going, well, it felt like we were going quick enough, and it just kind of broke into 2 parts, didn't it? He had a nice bit of space up the middle, and he enjoys that as well.
Unfortunate with what happened with Kinross as well.
Yeah, like I was just trying to stay out the way in the corner, and Ross was walking past, and my lad just backed up into him and kicked him. It was nobody's fault, it was just one of those things.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Well, congratulations on the 2 thirds, well done.
Thank you.
Thank you. 12 months ago, Aidan O'Brien and I were standing here in the Wisden enclosure after the great Kyprios had won the Goodwood Cup. Now Scandinavia has beaten his stable compete Illinois, and could this be the start of another great staying career? Tell me what was in your mind about bringing both of them, Aidan, to this race?
Yeah, obviously Illinois was always going to come here, whatever he went to in Ascot. We just felt maybe Ascot came a little bit quick for him, and we didn't have him prepared properly through the winter for the Gold Cup, and it was a little bit of an afterthought. He had to take that position. We thought he'd be taking a deer after. So he ran a great race, and ran a great race today. This horse, Wayne rode him in Ascot and loved him. He said he got trapped 6 wide all the way. He said he was never on the bridle. He never got any go at all, and he's still at the line. He said he was beaten no distance. So obviously he went to Newmarket after that. Ryan rode him, and Ryan said he felt a very, very classy stayer. And they were his exact words. And obviously then when it came to running him, he asked me what to do, and I said, listen, Ryan, you can't not ride Illinois, but the other horse could come and get you. So the lads decided after Newmarket, if he's that classy a stayer, Illinois is coming here, why not let him come as well? So they made the decision, and like obviously it's great. Listen, it's like Ryan said, it looks a very classy stayer. Wayne gave him a great ride. Derek and Donald are in charge of him. Aaron led him up, and Brett rides him out, and Stephen rides him up. So all them people have helped him to come along all the way. So no, delighted, Lydia, really.
And your words prove very prophetic there, that Scandinavia might come and get Illinois. What were you thinking in the straight? What were your thoughts about what they each were doing?
Well, I thought it was the way it was, and I thought they were going to be ridden forward. Both of them were going to stay very well, and like there was no point in uncomplicating anything with any of the 2 lads, and we were delighted if any of the 2 of them won. And I watched the race with Derek and Paul, and they were obviously head to head all the way down the straight, and it was anything could have happened all the way. So it was exactly really what you like to watch. Listen, the 2 of them were there, and it looked like it was between the 2 of them. So, and obviously the lads were delighted if whichever of them won. And I tell you what he is, he's by Justify, and Justify is our typical Galileos with a little bit more class, and he showed exactly what we see in Justifies all the time. They will not lie down, no matter what you do to them, no matter where they are, how tired they get, they still that big open stride keeps going and their heads keep down. So that pure genuineness that Galileo had is there, but they have a little bit more class.
It's very exciting with this 3-year-old. The last 3-year-old to win this race, of course, you'll know, Stradivarius. And so what do you think, I mean, for a 3-year-old to be able to win it, does that suggest that we could be talking about a really fabulous stayer?
Well, Ryan said he felt very classy in Newmarket, and Derek said before the race, he said to me, he said, listen, if he's very classy, he might come and get it, but he'll have to be classy, and that's exactly what happened. He travelled very well through the race, and Wayne came down the straight with Ryan, and listen, it was going to happen the last half a furlong or whatever was going to happen, and we saw it. So it's great, really. I think Illinois is probably not finished yet. There's more to come, and I think maybe the Gold Cup is a little bit hard on him, but so there's more going to come probably from him next year. But like Ryan said, he's just probably very classy, this horse.
So we could see some battles between the two of them over the next few seasons.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, obviously he was a horse that was shown loads, because I think the lads had a bet on him for the Derby a long time ago. So obviously he always looked a very classy horse. He had that big stride and very genuine. But like you said, they'll probably meet again, I would imagine. But I think this horse could go to the Ledger. He doesn't have to go to York anymore, and then the other horse could go to the Irish Ledger or Jan Bergal or whatever. So, but he looks like a horse that's ready, Ledger made horse, doesn't he? You know, he's very genuine, he's very straightforward. He handled ease in the ground today, and yeah, so it'll be interesting. See whatever the lads really want to do.
And from your training perspective, obviously you've trained some greats at this trip, Kyprios, Yates, of course. Is he more forward, than them at the same time, or do you think they're comparable in any kind of way?
Yeah, I think he's probably very classy. He's a very long stride. He cruises very easily. He travels very well through a race, and like obviously Wayne took his time a little bit on him today, and I think if you look at him through the race, he went through the race very easily. So he's obviously a very classy horse, and he's a great pedigree as well.
Finally, I'm going to ask for a couple of reflections. Dorset, what are your thoughts on the vintage?
Yeah, he was a little bit slow away, got a little bit of a bump, and he got just too lit up. Ryan just felt the pace was on, and he just got hung up in the pace, and the horse was doing a little bit too much. He said he felt very babyish. He said he will improve a lot, and he'd be very happy to go up in distance, but he said more babyish than anything. So it just all happened a little bit wrong for him today.
And can I take you back to last Saturday and Jan Bruegel? Any reflections on that, particularly the tactics in the race?
Yeah, he ran a very good race to watch.
Were the tactics wrong?
No, listen. He stays very well, and we knew that. Jan Bruegel, we felt in Epsom that we beat the second horse. We outstayed him.
Yes.
There was a strong, even, consistent pace, and listen, obviously we didn't go as strong this time, and I think maybe my instructions to the lads were wrong.
Okay, and you put the cheek pieces on as well, because obviously you're talking about a different kind of track, Epsom as compared to Ascot.
Yeah, listen, in Epsom he came down the straight looking and gawking, but that's his way, you know what I mean? So, listen...
I wasn't meaning that. I was wondering whether you were using the cheek pieces to try and use to get him to be more forward as a stayer, essentially.
I know, well, we knew that type of horse anyway. He's a cruiser. He wants to be dragged. He loves to get into a fight. Right. And listen, as we know, Ascot was like a 1.25 mile race rather than a 1.5 mile race. Probably a 9 for me is I saw what happened at Epsom, and it was the right thing to do, and I said to the lads to do the complete opposite at Ascot.
You overthink it.
Overthink it.
Well, it happens to the greats. Congratulations on this win.
Thank you,
Thank
Lydia.
you.
Watch live racing now on racingtv.com.